So welcome to this lesson where we look at Pure 1, Chapter 6.4 about tangents and chord properties. We are bringing out one of your worst nightmares back in GCSE, which is about the circle theorem. These two circle theorems actually are being less used in GCSE compared to in A-level. So they're less used in GCSE because you don't often see them in GCSE, especially the chord properties one. So here, let's have a look. So recap. So radius and a tangent will form right angle. We know that. So this one is probably quite well used, but anyway, so circle and the tangent, tangent, we know tangent has to touch. Okay, so that's the radius and the tangent makes a right angle. Okay, next one, the perpendicular from the center of a circle to a chord bisects the chord. So this one you're probably less aware of that. So circle, a chord essentially is a line segment in a circle that is not the radius nor diameter. In other words, any other line that touches circumference but not passing through a center. Okay, so if you have a line, if you have a line passing through, let's say a radius in here, that one here, then what we know is these two would be equal, and that's a right angle as well. Okay, so that's the circle theorem. It's probably less used in GCSE, but it will be more widely used in here in today's lesson. Right. Example: given the point P tan 0 is on a circle x minus 2 squared plus y minus 6 squared equals 100. Find the equation of a tangent passing through P. If you like to, you can draw a circle on the graph. You can sketch a circle to see where the points roughly are. But what we do know is, well, why don't we do that, shall we? So center of the circle, the center is 2, 6, and the radius is square root of 100, which is 10. So 2, 6, 10. Now, because the x and y values are less than 10, less than radius, what it means is a circle will be passing through the x and y axes, so like this. Okay, so the center is not right in the center, but who cares? It's my circle, my rules. My circle, my rules. Anyway, 2, 6. So what else do we know? P is tan 0. Tan 0 means it's on the x-axis. So x-axis, make it a bit longer. So this one is P, tan 0. Okay, right. That's really the question. Find the equation of tangent. When you see the line equation of tangent, we know the equation of tangent is a straight line. In a straight line, we use the formula y minus y1 equals mx minus x minus x1. And to use the formula y minus y1 equals mx minus x1, then we need two things. Okay, we need the gradient and we need the point. Just like chicken nuggets. When you have chicken nuggets, you need two things. One, the sauce. Second, money. Anyway, right, M and the point. So we need M, McDonald's. No, M for gradient and P is the point. P for the point. We already have the point because the point is P tan 0, 0. Tan 0, tan 0. So the question is, what's the gradient? If we know the gradient, then we can work on the whole question. So this kind of method is problem-solving skill, which helps you to deduct line by line, what do we need next? Okay, so if we need that, then how can we achieve that? Okay, so what do we need? What else do we need? So we're using line by line, method by method. Okay, so logic by logic, line by line to see what we need next. Okay, so again, the equation of tangent is a straight line. Straight line needs y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. In that case, we need gradient and a point. We haven't got the gradient, so what's the gradient? We've got a point, tan 0. So the question is, what's the gradient? So the gradient, a tangent passing through P, that means it's this line here. Let me draw the line. Okay, looks all right. We need a gradient of that line. What we know is, we know that and that makes a right angle. So the gradient in here, therefore, is the negative reciprocal of what's the point? We call it center C, CP. So we need to find the gradient of CP and do negative reciprocal. That forms the gradient for the line that we need for the equation of tangent. So let's work out the gradient of CP. So MCP, okay, MCP is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is minus 6 over 8, which is minus 3 over 4. Therefore, the gradient of tangent, M tangent, equals negative reciprocal. So we've got the gradient, we've got the point, let's use the formula y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So y minus y1, y minus 0 equals 4/3 x minus 10. The question did not need us to put in any format, not in ax plus by, so we can, if we expand the bracket, that's 4/3 of x minus 40/3. And that could be the answer. If you are a perfectionist, or we call it OTT, then you can multiply everything by 3. Now, this is not needed, so this is not needed. So you can make it 3y minus 4x plus 40 equals 0, which is perfectly fine as well. Okay, right, next one. An equation, next one. An equation C has equation x minus 5 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 10. The line L is a tangent to the circle, which is gradient minus 3. Find two possible equations of L. So why don't we try and draw a circle again, just to see, just give us visually where it's a circle. The center is 5 minus 3. The radius is root 10. Now, root 10, if we put in a calculator, is 3 point, so root 10, the radius, root 10, 3.1, I think 3.1 something, 3 point something. Now, what it means is, now when we draw a circle, we have to be careful because center 5 minus 3 means here 5 minus 3. The radius is 3. But because the x value is 5, is greater than 3, that means the circle is not going through the y-axis. So it's only, so maybe like this. I know it's quite ugly in circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a better one. Okay, 5 minus 3. We're not passing through the y-axis because the distance from the 0 and here is 5. The radius is only 3 point something. Okay, so that's something you have to be careful with. Right, the line L is a tangent to a circle as gradient minus 3. So gradient of minus 3 means, now gradient negative is that way. So minus 3 maybe this and this. So we have two parallel lines. Another line that has to be the same gradient that's also tangent has to be on this side. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so these are two lines. Okay, right. So how do we work it out? You might be thinking. So we know the gradient is 3 minus 3. Now, I'm going to go through two methods in here. Okay, the first method, which some people find easier, but the second method, I would like you to know, actually, this is a method because the skill I'm going to show you in second method is quite common in circle question, especially in the exam. You might not need it in this question, but it's doable with that method as well. So method number 1, we know is y. So we know two lines are y equals mx plus 3. So we want to find equation of two lines. Again, we need y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Have we got a gradient? Yes, we do. Minus 3 because the question gave us. Have we got a point? No, we don't. Let's call this point A and B. Okay, let's call this point A and B. So what we need is A and B. So the points are A and B. The question is, what's the point A and B? Now, what we know is if we join up the point A and B, it will go through a center, and they are also perpendicular. Now, why? Because from the line A and B must go through a center because they are exactly parallel to each other and they're exactly opposite each other. So they must go through a center. And what else do we know? What we know is because the red line in the middle is perpendicular to the blue line, two blue lines, which we're interested in. So we can work out the gradient. We know the gradient. So the gradient of the blue line, of the red line, sorry, of the red line. Okay, gradient of the red line. So what I'm trying to say is, okay, if I want to work out the point AB, okay, I must first work out the brick red line, the brown line, the red line, whichever, red, blue, I'm not sure if you remember the long time ago, there's a image of people asking people, is there blue dress or white dress, white gold or blue black, whatever, this red or brown line, whatever you see, okay, if we know the equation of this line, then we can do simultaneous equation of the red line with the circle, then we can find the equation at the points of A and B. So the first thing we need to do is we need to, in order to find that, we need to find the equation of the red line. Okay, of the red line. AB. So how do we do that? Well, we need another y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So the gradient. Now, we know the blue line has a gradient -3. Therefore, the gradient for the red line must be 1/3 negative reciprocal. Now, you write a reason why it's 1/3 in here yourself, okay? Next, the point. We know the point is 5 minus 3 because it goes through a center. Therefore, the equation for the red line is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So y plus 3 equals 1/3 x minus 5/3. Expand the bracket and then simplify it 1/3 of x. And then in here, minus 14/3. So that's the equation of the red line. So equation of red line, y equals minus 14/3. So now we know this is y equals 1/3 of x minus 14/3. Yeah, 1/3 of x minus 14/3. Okay. What's next? Well, actually, I don't like fractions because they're 3. So if I multiply everything by 3, let me do that. I get 3y equals x minus 14. So if I bring everything one side, so 3y minus x plus 14 equals 0. So we've got one equation here. All right, one equation. So what I said is, if we follow our logic, if we want to find the equation of L, we need a gradient. We've got a gradient. We need a point. The point is point A and B. Okay. Why the points A and B so special? Because A and B are the points that connected to the circle, and the circle is the information that we've got information on. We don't have any other information about on the axes. That's why these points are not valid. These points on the axes are not valid. They're not relevant. So if I want to find the point AB, I can draw a line from A to B, and I know it goes through a center of circle. So then what my next target is the equation of the red line. To find the equation of red line, I do the same thing. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Thankfully, I do know the gradient, which is 1/3 because it's perpendicular to the blue line. So that's 1/3 negative reciprocal. And then the point that passed through is 5 minus 3. So I do the y minus y1 equals mx minus x1 and figure out this equation of red line here. What's next? If I want to find a point AB, don't forget our mission is to find AB. So to find the point AB, I need to do a simultaneous equation on the red line and the black circle. So to find point AB, to find the points A and B, I need to do simultaneous equation on 3y minus x plus 14 equals 0, and the equation of circle x minus, what's that? X minus 5 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 10. So simultaneous equation. Okay, to find simultaneous equation from the equation 1, I will change this into 3y plus 14 equals x. So x equals 3y plus 14. I'm going to sub it in here. Now, in quadratic simultaneous equation, you can't really skip steps, use a calculator. So you will have to complete everything on your own. So let's sub it in. So it becomes 3y plus 14 minus 5 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 10. Simplify the bracket, plus 9 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 10. Expand double bracket. Now, if you remember, double bracket is the shortcut for expand double bracket is 3y squared is 9y squared. 9 squared is 81. For the middle term, multiply these two terms together. 3y times 9, 27y. Double it, 54y. Okay. Same for this. Y squared, 3 squared, 9. 3 times y, 3y. Double, 6y. So you multiply middle term and double it to find the middle term equals 10. And then I'm going to skip some steps in here. You're going to, you should get simplified 10y squared plus 60y plus 80 equals 0. And we use a calculator, solve the quadratic equation. You should get y equals to -2 or y equals to -4. So what you do next is, therefore, find the x value. Therefore, x equals to 8 and 2. So 8 or x equals 2. Let me check the question. Have I answered the question yet? Find two possible equations. I haven't found it yet. But what I found is I found a point AB. So finally, I can use the equation y minus y1 equals mx minus x1 finally. So let me do it again. So the gradient is 3. So y minus, let me choose this one first, y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So y equals minus 3x. That's a plus 24 minus 2, it's minus 22. And the other one, is it plus or plus 22? And the other one is y minus minus 4 equals mx minus x1. So y equals minus 3x plus 6 minus 4 is plus 2. Now, it might seem long to you, this method in here, method number 1, but actually, this question, where it looks simple, but it's not simple. Okay? Can you imagine 2 lines of question could trigger so much calculation? All right? So this method number 1, where we figure out a line in the middle, we can work out the equation of the line piercing through, and then do simultaneous equation and work out these 2 points. And then we can use the 2 points to work out the possible equation of L. Right? So what's method number 2? So method number 2, okay, same question, method number 2, which is about using the discriminant. Okay, using discriminant. Where the hell does this discriminant come from? Tangent to a circle. Tangent means the discriminant equals 0. Why? Because tangent means only one intersection point. Therefore, discriminant equals 0. So we can use this information. Well, how do we do that? First of all, we know this equation now has y equals minus 3x plus c because of a gradient minus 3. So what we can do is we can substitute y equals minus 3x plus c into x minus 5 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 10. So that's really simple. In a substitute, I can do this. We can jump into it straight away. The evil is in the details. The devil is in details. Pardon English, too difficult. So let's try expand the bracket. Okay, so try something in. So x minus 5 squared. Now, if you want to use this method, it's quicker in your brain. It'll be quicker, easier to do, less things to take care of. But the algebra will require you more attention. So y plus 3, y is minus 3x plus c. Don't forget that plus 3 squared equals 10. If you don't know what I've done, I've substituted this into here. Okay. Now what I do is I can expand double bracket here, x squared minus 10x plus 25. Now this double bracket is a monster to do it. You can't really use any shortcut for this double bracket because there are 3 terms. So what you need to do is on the separate piece of paper, minus 3x plus c plus 3 minus 3x plus c plus 3, expand it. Okay, I'm not going to show you the working in here because I've done it on a separate paper. So great. You get 9x squared minus 6xc minus 18x plus 6c plus 9 plus c squared. We're going to put it in. Okay, so plus, what did I say again? 9x squared minus 6xc minus 18x plus 6c plus 9 plus c squared equals 10. Don't forget the right hand side. I'm going to do some simplifying, and I should get 10x squared minus 28x minus 6xc plus 6c plus 24 plus c squared equals 0. All right, hopefully there's no issue in here. What I'm doing merely is just expanding bracket and simplify, collecting right terms. Now, then I use discriminant. Okay, discriminant. So here I'm going to use discriminant. I'm going to use discriminant. So what's my ABC term? Now you can do this middle step, which is to find the ABC term in discriminant. The B term represents the coefficient of x. So I'm going to factorize x out. I'm going to factorize positive x. So anything, the sign remains the same. Minus 28 minus 6c. And then for the c term, it's just together as 6c. Anything without x simply is a c term. So that's your A, B, and C. So let's use discriminant. B squared minus 4ac equals 0. Now, where did it come from? Again, because of tangent. Okay, because of tangent. So what I'm going to do is b squared minus 4ac. So b squared minus 28 minus 6c squared minus 4 times a times c. Now, the algebra in here is quite ugly. Expand the bracket, again, double bracket. 28 squared is 784. My math teacher used to tell me to remember all the square number up to 30. which actually, you know, he lied to me saying, oh, all the good mathematicians actually remember square number 30. So we, as a class, we actually have to remember it. But I know, was it useful? Not really. But now as a teacher, yes, very useful. So 28 squared is 784 if you don't know it. 28 times 6, double it. You should get 336 plus 336c. 6c squared is 36c squared. Okay. And then minus, so that's 40. 40 times 6 is 240c. 40 times 24, quick maths, is, 960. Simple. No, I'm just kidding. I use a calculator. 40 times c is minus 40c squared. Yeah, equal 0. Okay, simplify the algebra. You should get now minus 4c squared plus 96c minus 176 equals 0. Put in a calculator, you should get c equals 2 or 22. So we know the equation was y equals minus 3x plus c, right? So we've got y equals minus 3x plus 2, or y equals minus 3x plus 22. Now, which way would I? And you see, this way maybe it's quicker, but the algebra is quite ugly in here, especially expanding bracket. When I did it on paper, I actually made a silly mistake as well. So yes, it requires really high precision on the algebra, but it's nevertheless it's a simpler method. Okay. So when you say tangent in a line, consider discriminant. And I highly recommend it. Now, Google Map review, 5 out of 5. Next one, next question 1, your turn. Okay, your turn. These questions are not as difficult as the example I gave you. So pause the video, have a go at the question. When you're ready for the answer, you can press play. Right, here's the final answer, okay, for question A and B. Okay, if you go right, well done, move on to question 2. If you don't, let's go through. The point P minus 1, 2 lies on the circle center 3, 5. So I think the best thing to do is to draw a little circle. Okay. 3, 5. Minus 1, 2, minus 1, 2. So I can't do maths. Yep, it's in here. So 3, 5. And this point is minus 1, 2. Okay. Why is the circle so ugly? It's my circle, my rule. I've told you again, so don't ask me again. I've told you already. So find the equation of circle. So to find the equation of circle, we need 2 things. We need a center of circle and a radius. Okay. So we need, again, the center and the radius. We already have a center, which is given by the question 3, 5. The question is, what's the radius? To find the radius, we can use this. That's a radius. So to find the radius, we can use this as formula. X2 minus x1. Don't forget minus in here. And then plus what? 5 minus 2 squared. You should get radius equals 5. So therefore, equation of circle is x minus the center plus y minus the center equals radius squared. Therefore, that equals to 25. Okay. Right. So 25. Okay, that's the equation. Part B, find the equation of tangent to the circle at P. So at P. So we want to find the equation of tangent at P. So is there a way I can draw this? That's the tangent. So we need a gradient and a point. We have the point already, but we don't have the gradient. But what we know is, and it's a bit ugly here, actually, the tangent looks a bit ugly. Well, actually, it's not ugly. It's the circle that is ugly. Why do I know? Because I know a tangent and the radius should make a right angle. That is not a right angle, but it should be a right angle. Okay. But why is the circle so ugly? None of your business. It's my circle, my rule. Right. So so what I know is if I can work out the radius, the gradient of the radius, right? If I can work out the gradient of the radius, that's too thick here, then I can work out the gradient for the tangent as well because they're perpendicular. So what I need is, okay, so part B. So what triggers me all this kind of thinking? Well, if I want to use the equation of tangent, if I find the equation of tangent, I do need the gradient and the point. I already have the point P, which is minus 1, 2. So the question is a gradient. And when I think about gradient, I look at perpendicular, any perpendicular lines, because that's the way I can do it. And why do I have to look for perpendicular? Because there are no other 2 points, I can work out the gradient of the gradient of the tangent. If I have another point on the gradient, on tangent, so on tangent, that would be great. Let's say if I've got this point, I can easily work out the gradient using y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The question is I don't. So I need to use the gradient. So I need to do negative reciprocal of the gradient of radius. So the gradient of radius mr equals to y2 minus y1, 5 minus 2 over 3 minus 1, which is 3 over 4. Therefore, the gradient for the tangent equals negative 4/3. Now I've got the two ingredients that I need, the money and the sauce. Now I can enjoy my chicken nuggets. So y minus y1 equals m minus 4/3 of x minus 1. So y minus 2 equals, if I expand the bracket, minus 4/3 plus 2, then you should get y, if I add 2 minus 4/3 of x plus 2/3. Okay, yeah, nice and easy to me. Next one, okay, next one, this one, a 14 marker, okay, quite a difficult one. It looks like a complicated one, but you'll need to try it on your own. You know, doesn't matter how many times I've taught you, you have to try on your own. Don't be afraid. It's your turn to shine. Pause the video, have a go. When you're ready for the answer, you can press play. Here are the answers. Okay. Yeah, you got it right. Well done. That's it. End of lesson for you. Okay. If you don't, if you're interested to find actually this, I think this is an exam question. 14 marker, quite a lot. Okay, let's go through. The points R and S lie in a circle with the center a minus 2 as shown in diagram. The point R has coordinates 2, 3, and the point S has 10, minus 1. So 10, 1, they're all in there. M is midpoint of the line segment S, RS. So RS, okay, so M is midpoint. Okay, so we know M is midpoint between RS. The line the line L passes through M and C. So this is the line L, if you don't know. This is the line L. Okay, so the middle one that pierces through the circle is the line L. Find the equation for L. So part A, you find the equation for L. I'm good. Let me copy this question and bring it to the next page. It will be easier for us. Okay, so no distraction of the answers. Okay, just between you and me and the question. So L. So we need the equation of L. So y minus y1, again, part A, we need the gradient and the point. So to find a gradient, so gradient, what we know is that's a right angle, by the way. That's a right angle because M is a midpoint. That means these two must be equal in length. If these two must be equal in length, this must be parallel. Circle theorem. Okay. So what we need to know is what do we know? The gradient. So what's the gradient of RS? So we can work out the gradient of RS. So gradient of RS is 1 minus 3 over 10 minus 2, which is minus a quarter from the calculator. Therefore, the gradient of L is negative reciprocal, which is 4. We need a point. The point is M. So we need a point. To find a point M, that's the midpoint between R and S. So that's 2 plus 10, half it, 3 plus 1, half it, which is 6 and 2. So once we've got these two, we can use the equation y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So y equals 4x plus 22. Yep, minus 22, sorry, minus 22. Okay, right, nice and easy. Part B, okay, part B. That's a great question. Part B, find the value of A. So part B, to find the value of A, we look at where A is. A is on the point of C, and C is at the point of, is on the line L, lies on the line L. So we can do this, part B, okay? C lies on L. So we can substitute A minus 2 into the equation y equals minus 4x, plus 4x minus 22. So that gives us y is minus 2, x is A minus 22. So A, if we work it out, A is 5. All right? So that's 2 marks. Next one, part C, find the equation of circle. What do we need for the equation of circle? Center and radius. Do we have center? Yes, we do. 5 minus 2, which is the coordinates of C. What the radius? From the graph, you should know the equation, the radius is, how do I get off the pen now? I assume it's really annoying. Okay. is here. We've got the radius. There's a radius. That's a radius. Yes? No? Radius. So we can either use the radius of CA or CS. So radius, part C. The radius is CR or CS. Remember, 2 straight bars means the distance. So the straight bars means distance of CR. I mean, this one's CS, sorry. That's the distance. 2 bars means the distance. Okay, so let's use CR. C is 5 minus 2. R is, what's R again? R is 2, 3. I like to use smaller numbers to deal with. So distance, CR, using distance formula, is square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Put in a calculator, you get root 34. Okay, so root 34, that means the equation of circle, so the equation of circle equals x minus the center of circle plus y plus 2 squared, because minus 2 makes a plus 2, equals root 34 squared, which is same as just 34. Okay, so that's the equation of circle. Right, part C completed. Part D. Okay, part D. Find the points of intersection, simultaneous equation of A and B, the line L and a circle. Well, so I hope it gives away what you need to do. So part D, we need to do simultaneous equation between y equals 4x minus 22 and the equation of x minus 5 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 34. So sub it in. So x minus 5 squared plus 4x minus 22 plus 2 squared equals 34. Expand double bracket, shortcut. That's x squared. 5 times x, 5x, double it, 10x. But it's a minus, so it should be a minus 10x. 5 squared plus 25 plus 4x squared, 16x squared. That's minus 20, square it, 400. 20 times 4x, 80. Double it, minus 160x equals 34. Okay, let me double check my answer. Yes, I'm right. I'm always right. I'm always right. If I'm wrong, that's me putting a trap. See if you understand why have I done wrong. It's a deliberate mistake. Okay, I never make genuine mistakes. Facts. Anyway, so if you simplify it, 17x squared minus 170x plus 391 equals 0. Shall we simplify it? No, put in a calculator. Okay, who has time to simplify a quadratic equation? Well, we've got a powerful calculator to solve a quadratic for us. Put in a calculator. The calculator should give you x equal plus or minus 5 plus or minus root 2. So to find a y value, sub into y equals 4x minus 22. So y equals 4x minus 22. When x equals 5 plus root 2, y equals to 4 times 5 plus root 2 minus 22. Put in a calculator, it should give you minus 2 plus root 2. Hence, we've got the point 5 plus root 2 and minus 2 plus root 2. And when x equals 5 minus root 2, the same, y equals minus 2, or minus 4 root 2, by the way. I think it's 4 root 2. Yeah, I'm not there, sorry. Yeah, 4 root 2, 4 root 2. So y minus 2, minus 4 root 2. So the coordinates are 5 minus root 2 and minus 2 minus 4 root 2. Well, why am I rushing? Because the video is too long. All right, so hopefully you understand everything in here. This, you can imagine this chapter will have a lot of problem solving questions, geometric problem in the exam. So yeah, enjoy the homework. Bye for now.